Welcome to the Fill Your Cups podcast. We're your hosts, Morgan and Bailey. It is our bonus book club episode. So this month's book club was, I thought, so fun. First Line Wins was the book, and I can't remember who it was by, but some thriller author.
Like Ashley something.
Yeah. Oh,
Ashley
yes.
Sanders?
Yeah, that sounds right. And the cool thing about this one was you didn't get to hear this because you weren't at book club, but Ashley Sanders apparently...
Ashley Elston.
Ashley Elston apparently was she did YA stuff, like young adult stuff before, and so this was her first adult book. And
that's fun.
Yeah, which was interesting context to have. Of course, you know who gave us that context was, of course, Morgan Kurtz. But
I was going to guess Madeline.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense, too. Yeah, so our friend Madeline chose this book, and it was definitely, we kind of tossed around the idea of, is this a thriller or not? Because so many thrillers are so scary.
Yeah.
And I was like, I definitely feel like it would be in that category, and it actually did win some awards in that category, so...
I was going to say, I would put it in a thriller category.
Yeah, but we're like, it definitely was suspenseful, but, you know, but some people were just like, oh, when you think of, like, Gone Girl as a thriller, it's different vibes, you know?
Definitely different vibes. This was like a soft thriller.
Yeah, gateway thriller.
Yeah, something like that. Also, I'll say for our listeners listening, this is my first book club discussion about this book.
Oh, yeah.
I did not make it to the other book club because I've been sick. So wasn't able to go. So if I sound a little bit nasally, that's why. I'm still getting over that. So I'm actually really excited because I'm like, I don't know what you guys talked about.
Yeah.
I have so many like clarification questions, which always happens. Like I go into book club and I'm like, wait, what? So what happened here? Or like, someone explain to me what this thing is. So I'm excited for that. And tossing around theories and stuff.
Yeah, so I personally, I really loved this book.
Really? What'd you give it?
I actually gave it 5 stars. I told everybody, I think it was just really right time, right place for me.
You've been reading some big-ass books.
I've been reading a lot of big books, and this book took me like 2 days. It was a really quick read. I wanted to know what happened. And it was just a concept that I haven't read before. I feel like it was really unique to have the whole scam artist thing. And I haven't read a book like that before.
Yeah.
And so I really, really liked that. And then I also I thought it was so fun that the protagonist was female and that she totally outsmarted like her boss. And
she reminded me of Kim Possible.
I see it.
Kim Possible.
I see it. Yeah, I just thought she was like a fun character.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I would definitely recommend it to people. I thought that it was so fun, and I had no shame giving it 5 stars, but I will say I was the only one that gave 5 stars.
Really? I feel like books like this one are hard to give 5 stars because it is that thriller that people are like, it's not really a thriller, so you can't give it a 5 star like you would other thrillers.
Yeah.
But it's also not like a mystery, and it's also not a whodunit, like, you know what I mean? So I feel like the book itself is just hard to give 5 stars unless you're just a vibe reader.
Yeah.
You're a vibe reader.
I'm a vibe reader.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I actually appreciate that it's a soft thriller, that it's not like a full-on thriller, because I don't like thrillers that scare me.
Yeah.
If I get to the end and the world's fucked up still and like everything's bad, I'm giving it a low rating. That is not the thriller that I want in my life. This is the thriller I want in my life. So I was really into it. What did you give it?
I definitely really liked it. So I just finished it today. And at the time of book club, like, I had put in my rating of 4 stars. I was like, I'm like 70% of the way through by the time of book club. I was like, I'm pretty much like set for the book, I feel like. But then, and I think it's no fault of the books. I think it's me because I'm really super not into reading right now. Like, it just sounds like that's a chore.
Yeah.
So for me, just having to listen to like 3 hours, I was like, oh my God, it's like droning on. Even though I didn't actually feel like that in the story, it's just how I felt in the moment. So I might knock it down to like 3.5 stars.
Okay, yeah.
But again, I don't think that's the book. I think that's me. So I'm like, I don't know. But I did really like it. I love a good book with like a undercover kind of thing. I feel like I've actually read a few like that.
Well,
And this book reminded me in a way of The Last Mrs. Parrish.
oh, okay.
Is she kind of undercover or something? There's the one is.
Yeah, like the maid,
Yeah.
or the in-home person. Yeah, she is undercover in that. But the concept of this one being so different, of she plays so many different roles.
Yeah.
That was the thing that I was like, I haven't really seen that in a book before. And I don't know, I love a book that jumps storylines, like past, present, past, present.
Yeah.
And seeing her current issues and situations and stuff, and then also getting like the context of her past and her background and which roles she's played so far, and how her boss came in and, you know, kind of helped her and saved her or whatever, and kind of created that tether or whatever early on. I just really like that. I don't know, maybe I've read some that are undercover, but I just felt like this was a very different way.
No, I completely agree. This is the only one that's been like full on, you get that perspective the whole time.
Yeah.
I also love a good past and present in a book, but I felt like with this one, we kept getting present, and then I would get so confused that I would think that I missed something. So I reread and re-listened to multiple chapters multiple times. Just because I was like, wait, what is going on? Like, whenever she very first goes to the coach's house or whatever, like Coach Mitch, and she's like cussing him out, just yelling at him, I was like, what is going on? I have no idea, first of all, who this is. Like, I just felt like there was a bunch of names that would get thrown around that I didn't know who they were, because you're not supposed to know who they were yet.
Yeah.
Then she reveals it after. And I liked that. I like it being like oh, that makes sense. But I wish there would have been a little bit of cushioning as to like what you're about to see for this character. And then you can have like the present moments or something. Because a lot of it, I was like, what is going on? Like, I swear I read the Mitchell, like Coach Mitch story like 3 times. Because I was like, who is talking? Who is this guy? And like, I feel like that was the first time I really even heard about Devin. And I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's how I felt about that.
Yeah, I really liked all the other players, and I don't know, I thought the way she did it was clever, because I was like, I felt confused at times too, and then I was like, you know, like, they just reveal it. It felt like, I feel like this is a rare occasion where I feel like the book would be better as a movie.
Oh, this would be a great movie.
Yeah,
That would be a fun movie.
I think so, because I also think that Morgan Kurtz said this, but one of her complaints, she did not give it a good score.
Oh, no.
But one of her complaints was that so much happens off page, and that a lot of the events that happen, she just kind of says, she says it later, and so like a lot of the describing of why those things make sense, she just kind of describes it, like narrates it, instead of showing it to us.
Yeah.
And so I feel like seeing it on screen would be so much more fun.
Definitely would be a really good movie. I could already see Anna de Armas playing her.
Which one?
That is. She
that-
is in...
That's not Inventing Lady.
No,
Okay.
no. Anna de Armas is... I don't know where you would have seen her before. She's in one of the movies, not the...
She's
Knives Out. But like the first one, what's the first Knives Out? Oh yeah, okay, Knives Out. She's like the main character girl in there who accidentally kills the grandpa or whatever.
Oh, okay. I have seen that, but it's been a while.
Yeah, she's not been in like a whole lot of stuff that I know of, but I could see her playing that.
Yeah, I could see it.
Right? But no, I felt like whenever the events finally came to fruition, like you finally learn who these people are, I thought that was done fine, like that was done well, and I was really into every backstory of the character.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish that she would have, I don't know, like given us some build up before just being like, and then I talked about Andrew, and I'm like, who the fuck is Andrew? And so then I'm confused again, and I'm like, hold on, Ryan, you've got like, what is going on? Maybe it was also like the names of the guys were also so basic.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, I can't keep up.
She did leave stuff hanging for sure too, like just kind of dangling there to where you were like, wait, should I know this or should I just move on?
Yeah.
And I felt like I just moved on, but I did notice that in particular whenever we found out that she was working with Amy, is that her name?
Yes.
Okay, when we found out she was working with Amy, I was like, oh yeah, they never closed the loop on that because I remembered early on in the chapter when she had the painting heist.
Yeah.
And she learned that other people were on that heist or whatever.
Yeah.
That Devin informed her, oh, everybody else was killed off. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't say that, but he said everyone else was eliminated or something like that. And besides her and Amy, I think. And then I'm pretty sure that chapter ends, and it's pretty early on, I feel like, but I'm pretty sure that chapter ends, like, it moves on to the present with them and leaving it off, like, and there was only one other person that stayed. So I went to, and she, like, traveled to whatever state Amy lives in and knocks on the door or something. And then
I totally missed that.
yeah, but then we don't. I didn't think about it until later when they had Amy and they told us, oh, she was the other person that like did okay during the painting thing. Like found out that the longer room was the real place. And it wasn't until then that I was like, oh yeah, they never came back to that. I'm like, okay, I guess I came back to it now.
Yeah.
But I loved that. I thought it was so clever. I was like, oh yeah.
I do like when books make me do that. I do like that. I think I was just tripped up about being so confused for a lot of the book.
Yeah.
But like it still didn't take down my enjoyment of reading the book. I still really like wanted to find out what was going on and wanted to be like, what is gonna happen? Who is the real Mr. Smith? Like all that stuff. But yeah.
I also was telling them, okay, so I love whenever in a thriller I think that something's gonna happen and I'm so sure of it and I'm like, I picked this up from a mile away. And then later it's like, no, you didn't. And they proved me wrong because I swear to you, it was so goofy when we were in book club because I was talking about it and I was like, okay, now I see that obviously she wanted us to think that Mr. Smith was Ryan.
Yeah.
But when I decided that it was Ryan, I was like, oh, no one's gonna see this coming except for me.
You're like, I'm so small.
I'm like, I'm so small. Yeah, and I was like, I know exactly where you're going with this. Ashley, and then whatever it turned out to be George. I was like, the fuck? I did not see that coming.
Oh my god!
Because when they show you like the little, I thought it was so smart. That is probably what won me over. Is the little like hallway conversation.
Yeah,
and where they're like, we only deal in facts or whatever, but like Devin knows what I'm thinking, and it's like we know what you're thinking too. Ryan's fucking Mr. Smith, like, you know? And so I don't know, that scene made me, I was like, yep. And in that scene, I was like, see, this is where all the other slow readers start to think that it's Ryan. I've
been on that train.
I've been there for like 100 pages.
Oh my god.
So at that point, I was like, this is where everybody catches on, finally. But then it was that. And then I was like, and they flipped it to George. I was like, that is so smart.
I really did like that. It was funny while I was reading it because this, like, you obviously know someone nearby is Mr. Ryan or Mr. Smith.
Yeah.
And so I was like, the whole time I was reading it, I was like, okay, it's either Ryan, George, or Devin. And I'm thinking after this, my reading between the lines, and I'm like, who else would it be? It's gotta be one of the three, okay? Like, you're not that smart for being like, oh my god, it's gonna be one of these three.
Yeah.
Like, then about like, duh, obviously it is.
You thought George was gonna be an option?
Oh, yes, I knew he was an option because he was working for Mr. Smith. He was giving her all the advice all the time. He was always there. So, but it wasn't that I knew he was Mr. Smith. I just knew it was going to be one of the three males because she was trying so hard to figure out the identity of Mr. Smith. That was a huge deal. Like, she doesn't know who he is. Yeah. But he would say like, oh, I liked your hair on this trip or something. And it's like,
oh, he saw her.
Yeah, like, but she just thinks like she has eyes on her all the time, and she does.
Yeah.
But like, it's not that I knew George was Mr. Smith. I really didn't.
Yeah.
But I thought it was Ryan, And then I said, that's too easy. And then I really thought it'd be Devin. And I was like, oh, it's going to be Devin. Yeah, and I was going to be really sad for her if they were besties.
I wasn't sad about that too.
But I'm really glad that didn't end up being like anything. Like, he just ended up being an actual good friend and good guy.
Yeah, so we talked about this a little bit because Son was like, he seemed really random or whatever, but she did say that she had like sought out online someone with the problem solving skills, whatever. She had sought someone out online and that she had been working with him online for like a year before they met on the bus. You know, the whole where he was like, oh, watching someone wait is how you really know how they are.
Yeah,
like it's true testament to their character or something. I don't know. But yeah, so she had interacted with him for like a year. So, I mean, that's where their trust came from. I guess. Like, and because they constantly didn't like fall through on each other. I guess like they constantly pulled through for each other. Is that what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. I didn't have any issues with Devin or like that storyline at all. I don't know. I think like it was so funny when we were talking about it because so many people had issues. They were like, "There's so many plot holes, there's so many gaps in the story and stuff," and I was like, I don't even worry about that.
One thing I do not notice is plot holes.
I never pick up on plot holes unless I'm just like, what? Like,
Hold on.
yeah. I never pick up on plot holes. Oh, okay, I loved this one. Brittany mentioned this. So Morgan had a lot of plot holes that she pointed out. But one of the ones that Brittany mentioned that it did cross my mind at some point when she was like, he has like all the power on earth to do whatever he wants with whatever technology, but he can't open the freaking box. And she was like, he literally sent her twin to her. Like, why couldn't he send her twin to the wall? Like, for paying someone at the bank or get a security guard thing.
Yeah, you're right. He would have all the power to be able to get into that.
Or make that a job for one of his other.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing.
That's funny.
What did you think about the fact that it was George? Because I was like, does he even have other people? Like, how does he spend all this time delivering stuff to her?
Oh my god. I don't know.
Maybe he clearly does have other people. I just was like, how big is his operation? Like, if he's
Was George Sales from the get-go?
Oh,
Also, is that the phrase?
maybe not.
or is it get-go?
Yeah.
Not like a gecko, but get-go.
Get-go. Yeah.
But get-go?
It's like G-E-T. Yeah.
Okay, so
Get-go.
get-go.
Okay, whatever.
Oh, I want to like,
Is that the phrase or is it go get? Oh, God. No, but yeah, was he there from the get-go? Because, or was it after she had one of the weird jobs?
and then he was like, I need to keep an eye
Did
on
he
her.
deliver before the painting job?
Don't remember. Would that have been the first job that he needs to keep her eye on her? Because it wasn't the first job that she like messed up on, the one with the drunk wife and the husband.
Yeah.
So yeah, when was that plot line? I think that was one of the.
It was before the painting, obviously, but
Was George there?
no.
I don't think
So,
Wait, no, he was there for like her very first assignment because she was waiting for the mailbox to come. Maybe not her very first assignment, but she was waiting for the mail, and he's like, he gives it to her. I don't know.
did she used to go to the mailbox and then George started hand delivering stuff to her?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I can't remember either. I think they only talk about the mailbox thing like that one time,
Okay.
maybe. But that honestly should have been a big warning sign.
Oh, everybody that it was George. They like, and has, I don't know, like the first. Okay, I just keep.
This is one of the chat rooms I had to reread a million times.
So I just remember he like comes to her door and she's like,
Oh, I've been like watching you. Like your name is George last time. You were a post mail delivery. He's like, what are you talking about? And she's like, that's what your name tag said last time. He's like, oh, I don't know. And then she's like, well, should I call you George? And he's like, oh, sure. And then it like goes a couple days, and then George comes up to her door, and he's like, yeah, I figured I'd save you the trouble of going to your mailbox, so I just got it for you. And she's like, oh my God, thank you so much. She's like, you want to stay for a drink? And he says no. And then she finally like opens up her assignment or whatever. But what assignment was it? I don't know. Don't remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah, at this point I read this like 2 months ago, and 2 weeks ago.
I was like 2 months. What?
No, I guess it was like a week and a half ago.
Oh.
But since then I've been reading Onyx Storm.
Yeah.
But maybe I should reread it.
No, I'm just kidding.
I liked it enough that I would. But yeah, no, I mean when we talk about it in book club though, I understood all the criticisms. There's definitely things that's like okay.
And
Well, yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was wild. I was like, and then not I say fine, and this goes back to life.
I was surprised about that one. I did not see that one coming because it's like the last 10% of the book.
Seriously.
She like goes to Devon. She's like, yeah, and then I see Amy, and I was like, what? Amy? Like, what? I was like, I thought she was dead.
Yeah,
So that was. I do think that was a fun reveal.
yeah.
I liked that.
What did you think of her and Ryan?
Amy and Ryan, or sorry, not Ryan. Main character and Ryan. I'm with Ryan now. I liked him. I felt like he was. I don't know. Yeah, I really liked it.
People had issues with him. Like, they had issues with. They were like, I thought he was gonna be like at least a bigger part of the story, or like because the whole time you do think he's Mr. Stress. So then when you find out he's not, and he's just kind of like another errand boy, basically.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that's a little bit of a letdown. But I didn't mind it at all.
No,
I actually loved their relationship.
It was a good one.
And we were talking about, because everybody in our book club is pregnant right now. Someone was talking about, and they really didn't like what Ryan does, and also didn't really like that she's back on doing stuff at the end, like bad stuff at the end or whatever. I was like, they're perfect for each other. Yeah, like it's just a little bit of bad stuff.
This is what they want to do together.
Yeah, just on the side. And then I was like, but at the same time, if they decided to have a kid, would this be good? Should they find another one?
Probably. Yeah. I mean, but they're rich enough that they probably could stop. Well, even was his job for real? He was like, he set up shipments, but for what?
They said that he owned like the black market. So just,
You think it was human trafficking? No, I'm just
oh my god, no.
Okay, let's take that part out.
All right, rules, attention. I was joking. I was serious.
Well, I'm not serious.
I was like, no, I don't think it was human trafficking.
No, if it was human trafficking, they would have had to shut that shit down. That would be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
okay.
He would be a villain for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say also I don't think that she would have ended up with him.
No.
And I also don't think that anybody would like him.
No, like as a bad joke.
Okay. So they said that he ruled the black market, which I don't even really know what that means. But I guess that he just got shipments. He handled shipments.
Oh.
He was a thief, she said. I don't know. She said, basically, he's just like me. He's a thief. But, so I think that somehow they get box loads of
whatever it is.
Loads of, I don't know, like TVs or whatever, like expensive stuff.
That's so funny. I was like, drugs, guns, and TV.
Drugs, guns, bombs, grenades, TVs. Frankly, drugs and guns. Probably. Okay, what's the black market?
I don't really even know.
I mean, I'm gonna.
Oh God, don't Google it.
No, I'm gonna ask ChatGPT.
Oh, okay.
I was like,
Morgan, no.
my
best friend.
You like the black market. It's like a way to sell goods and trade goods online while being anonymous or something.
Yeah, it's illegal or unregulated exchange of goods and services. And then it says it occurs outside of government oversight, avoiding taxes, regulations. People turn to the black market to obtain things like drugs or weapons, evade price controls, and access scarce goods.
Mm-hmm.
So,
There's also human trafficking on the black market.
I don't get what it's called.
What's the black?
It's just like illegal consumerism? Is that?
Yeah, basically. You can't like access it like from a normal browser and stuff. So I think that's why they call it the black market, because it's like offline and like. We're probably gonna sound so stupid to anybody listening to this.
I'm asking what the most common thing sold on the black market is. And drugs, counterfeit goods, like fake watches and stuff, weapons, human organs, human trafficking, you're right, exotic pets, fake documents, and stolen data, like cybercrime and stuff.
Wow.
So I guess that's what Ryan does.
Oh,
But not human
man.
trafficking.
It better not be. Hopefully not human organs either. Documents, like, that's fine. I can get down
Giving someone a pass.
Yeah. Well, no, I think I'm okay with that. I don't know what I'm okay with. I'm really terrified of the black market.
I like to pretend it doesn't exist. But it does, and it's so scary. And
Sad.
It's so sad. It's so scary.
Yeah.
Oh,
so anyway, so I did like Ryan.
but now I'm not like you. I think he's just like a derpy little boy.
I thought they were cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was really like sweet and stuff.
He was.
Except when he was hard
I'm
balling
gonna
it.
kill him.
The guy.
His employee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's what I'm already. Okay, my last question that I was like, I don't really totally understand what's happening here. What does she end up doing when she's Mrs. Smith? Is she like the new Mr. Smith? She's sending people out on assignments, or what is she doing?
That's what we thought, and we were like, oh, maybe she's doing it more morally or something. Like she's doing it in a nicer way or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure that chat room that she ends up in, I mean, it's the same one that he was using. And so I'm pretty sure that people who are paying to have things done for them, she figures out how to get it done with her people. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't
It seemed like.
Yeah, I think you're right. I do kind of hate that she went back into that business.
That's what we were talking about.
Not because it's bad and illegal, but like because, you know, she could be on some Kim Possible shit, and I'm super okay with that. But because it's so bad for her.
Is it though? She's so good at it.
Okay, that's another thing. Is that it can be like she's so good at this, but then would get caught in bed just like going through stuff. And like, I was like one time. No, it was like every time. She'd be like, oh, what can I do because he scared me? And I'm like, oh, don't you think you'd be a little more hyper-vigilant? What? And this was
Okay.
So like it happens with the drunk lady, obviously.
Yeah.
That one time.
It's early.
It happens whenever, it literally happens in the most current storyline, whenever what's the girl's name that's pretending to be her? What's her real name?
Oh.
Whatever her name is, and then James or something, like the boyfriend.
Janice. I don't know. I can't think of
It's
it.
a very like summer name that starts with an L. No, I meant to say country name. Luca. Oh, that was Luca. Good job.
Thank you.
So yeah, whenever Luca and her boyfriend literally died, they go to the parents' house the next day. She's like, "Oh yeah, I'm just gonna pack up her stuff for her, so that way the mom doesn't have to do it." And then someone walks in the room and she's going through the stuff, and she's like, "Oh, you scared me."
No.
Yes.
Are you sure that it wasn't the other girl that got
Who's the other girl?
the Luca, like fake Luca?
No, she's already dead.
Wait.
Okay.
When
Yeah.
she's with,
Yep, whatever.
she's at James's family's house.
Yes,
Okay.
and she says, "Oh, we'll put the stuff upstairs in his room."
Yeah.
And then she's like, her excuse once the other person walks in and says like, "Hey, is everything going okay here?" The excuse is, "Oh yeah, I was just gonna pack up Luca's stuff so that way his mom didn't have to do it."
Or James's stuff. Yeah.
I think it was supposed to be Luca's, because she was like staying at the
That's
house.
right, yeah.
But she like got walked in on going through the laundry or whatever, and that's why she had to come up with that excuse. And I was like, "Are you really that good? Because you're talking about how you failed on 2 jobs. You got this, like, you're getting scared all the time."
I don't know.
Yeah,
Devin is her superpower, I feel like.
for sure, she couldn't do anything without him.
Especially the painting room, she'd be dead.
Oh, she'd be dead for sure. For sure.
I can't remember. Wait, did she figure that out or did he?
He did.
Okay. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he did. Because he was like, "Look at the wires."
Going in this room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think he got a big chunk of the
payments.
I sure hope so.
Basically, like 80% probably.
80. So we did. We did 80% of the work. Okay, she still had to go in.
I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah. Anyway, that's how I feel about all of that. Yeah, I did like it though. I like it was fun. There's 2 books. So The Last Mrs. Parrish was one that I was like, oh, it really reminded me of this. But then there's 2 more books that I was like, if people enjoyed this book, they should read these books.
Okay.
One of them is called The Last Flight, and it's really good. We're gonna put it in your notes.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
I'm going to put it in my Goodreads because I liked The Last Mrs. Parrish a lot. So if you also, and I know you didn't like it that much.
Yeah, I just think it was another one of those wrong place, wrong time books. Okay, yeah. So that one's good. I don't remember what I rated it, but it's very like similar vibes, kind of. Yeah, what did I rate it?
3.
Okay, that's pretty decent for me. That means like it wasn't bad. It didn't have me on the tip of my toes, but it was pretty good. So this one's good. And then the other one that I want everybody to read this book is called Bad Summer People. And it's like the kind of book that I love where it's out in the summer.
It looks there like a romance.
It's not at all.
That's funny.
I know.
You rated it at 4 stars.
Such a fun read. Affairs, cocktails, love in the sun. Not really love in the sun, but like backstabs, betrayals. It's so fun. And it reminded me of this book whenever they're like at their cocktail parties and stuff. Like,
yeah. I love that vibe.
Yeah, me too. And that's how That Summer People is like the whole time.
Fun.
So it's really fun. I would definitely recommend it if people like this book. Or if they liked the vibe of it but couldn't get 100% on board with this one.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, next month's book is Courtney's pick, and it is Pictures of You by Emma something. Let me look. And I don't actually know how she picked this book necessarily. Emma Gray. Pictures of You by Emma Gray.
Okay.
But, and I don't even really know what kind of book it is.
I'm going to go with
necessarily.
romance. If I
Yeah,
know Courtney.
yeah, probably. Courtney and I read a lot of the same kind of stuff.
Ooh, it
Looks like it's a great cover. But yeah, we did talk in book club about like, we need a romance again. Because it's been a while. Yeah, since December.
I feel like we were on a streak of romance.
Yeah, we kind of were, and then we got away.
Yeah, we got super far away.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's fun. I can't wait.
Yeah, so our April book club will be Pictures of You by Emma Gray.
Okay.
Let's do it. Hope you guys liked this episode, and I hope you guys listen along and read along for our next book club choice.
Yeah.
And I think that's all I had.
I agree.
All right, well then, cheers.